Dear friends, let me tell you two stories of my life. Early stages of my professional career, I was working with an advertising agency. One day, I made a huge mistake unknowingly, for which the company has a huge loss. Now I was carrying my resignation letter because I know that I have to check out of the company. Then the MD one day called me and said that let's go for a lunch. So we went for a lunch, and he said that never mind that the company lost that much of money. But the thing is that what we have learned. You know that I was taken aback. I said that, sir, had I known it, I wouldn't have made a mistake. Then he pointed out that what was my mistakes. You know, the second one is related to it. Period to start my own company. Though one of the very eminent professionals whom I respect, he gave me a certain work to do, and he said that please give me the report after 1 week. As I came out from his office, I met one of his colleague who is also well respected. And after talking to him, I forgot what he told me to do. You know, that 2 weeks passed, 3 weeks passed, and then I called him and said that, sir, I want to meet him. He said, please come. So I went to him. He asked me that what is the problem. I told him the problem. He took a pen and paper and narrated it. And it's become very crystal clear. Then he asked me that, do you want to have another cup of tea? Then I thought that, what is going on? He looked at me and straight, and he asked me a question that, Prabal, I told you that sometimes back, possibly 3 weeks back, let me check my diary. He really wrote it down, and he told me that, okay, Prabal, you are supposed to come back with me with this, with the result 1 week later from such and such date, which you never did. You know, still I couldn't recall that what work. Dear friends, at that point of time, you know that I have given an excuse, that saying that, sir, I didn't get the time. I was so bogged down with this problem. He looked at me and said that, Prabal, look at the history of all successful human beings in this world. They all got the same number of hours, minutes and seconds as we enjoy. If they can accomplish so much thing in their lifetime, can we say, time-wise we are so rich that we don't have time? Think again. Don't abuse the time. You are abusing yourself. You know that at that point of time, I was 40 plus, and I was crying, not because that I felt insulted. Why can't someone 20 years back kicked on my back and told me these things? Dear friends, this is important. You can regain everything in life, but you cannot regain the time you lost. That is number one. And number two, Even the best excuse in the world is still an excuse. Now, coming to the topic, what makes a leader a great leader? Now, when we talk about the leader, most of the people think is a political fraternity. No. A leader could be your next door neighbor. And leader could be a chaiwala who attract more customer than others, and his behavior pattern. So we have to look around. But the two key principles is the time and no excuse. So why the leadership self-assessment? Now we have to constantly look inside. That am I good enough? Am I doing the required thing which I need to do? Now for that we have to train ourselves, our mind. So get up in the morning and stand in front of the mirror and say, thank you God, whosoever it is, whomsoever you believe. Chalk down your agenda of that day and say to yourself that I will make it happen. But to make it happen, what you need to do? Have you assessed yourself? Let me tell you something. A willingness, why the leadership self-assessment is important. A willingness to carry out self-evaluation is one of the best possible qualities in a leader, as it indicates that they are prepared to make changes for the good of the team and the wider range. Now, narrow it down to a company. So let us focus on a company, because end of the day, either you have to start your company or you are the executive of the company. Maybe you are aspiring to a manager or a leader. So my focus is particularly the company basics. Therefore, a leader's behavior, personality and style of working naturally has a huge impact on the workplace environment, including employee engagement, motivation and communication. Always making concerted effort to monitor and review your own action means you will never stop in developing as a leader. Never stop learning. Why is leadership self-assessment important even for a leader? Leadership self-assessment is of enormous benefit to the individual themselves. Having a good awareness of your own strength and weakness will highlight those areas of your professional life also, where you can make improvement. Once you are aware of where your strength and weakness lies, you can make a realistic plan of actions, takes them into account. This will allow you to focus on areas you need to work on in order to further your personal growth and achieve greater professional success. As a leader, it's important to recognize and understand your own behavior before you try to guide and advise others. What does it mean? Before you give advice to somebody else, do you practice it? If not, go back to the basics. Why is leadership self-assessment important for others in the business? A large part of leadership self-assessment is evaluating your level of emotional intelligence. I am not talking about AI. AI comes later. A leader with a high level of emotional intelligence is often able to create more positive, welcoming, inclusive, vibrant work environment. This is because they can act in an empathic manner. Take criticism on board and be the diplomat in heated discussion. Now there is no five fingers at the same. You know that when you are sitting with the groups, there will be a difference of opinion. If there is no difference of opinion, then one is enough. Employees seize this and start to follow the example. The net result is a team and the leader who feel comfortable communicating with each other and have a greater appreciation for what every individual brings to the table. That means your opinion will be counted and appreciated. Ultimately, this improves the chance of the company reaching the desired destination. My dear friend, one of the most important aspects is that a leader who does not recognize the value of the other's opinion. To my opinion, he is not a leader. Leave him. Conducting a leadership self-assessment can also help boost your credibility in the eyes of your employees. They see that you are willing to identify and address your own weakness and deficiency. Even a leader has its weakness and deficiencies. Look at the history. Do you say that every leader whom you worship are absolutely perfect? No, but they constantly trying to improve themselves to a greater degree, higher degree. Therefore, it is a must for every individual that if you want to be succeed, assess yourself. If you don't assess yourself, the great danger is that you cannot take the next step. They don't not just blame others. A true leader never blames others. Leaders will often state that there is room for improvement and push their team further to get the very best out of them. So, who is a true leader? Number one, who is willingly to hear. Number two, who is ready to change himself according to the circumstances and lead the team towards that change. Who acknowledge his own deficiencies. The leader never blames others. He always says it's a collective responsibility. Yes, I am the leader. My responsibility is greater. Employees respect leaders who follow through on that advice themselves. As I said earlier, how can you carry out a leadership self-assessment? When it comes to leadership self-assessment, there are a number of options available. Each of the different tools has their advantages and disadvantages. So, simply choose the one that is most likely to provide information that you are looking for. What is right to me, it may not be right to you. because we grow up in a different environment. As I said, that emotional intelligence is the most important aspect of these things. Remember, no assessment tool is 100% accurate. You should view the result as a guideline rather than the objective truth. So therefore, when the topic like the self-assessment, which is very, very abstract in nature, some people say it is a science. If it is a science, it has to be 100% true. I never came across anybody who says that, okay, my assessment is absolutely 100% true. No, never. It never happened. Therefore, my friends, the simple rule is develop your own assessment tool also. Practice it. Think positive. Always say that yes, I can, but never ever forget to thank the God whosoever you believe in. Dear friends, if you think that this will help to develop somebody in some other way, then my purpose of having this video will be fulfilled. Thank you.